the person I'm about to bring to you today, all right, this brother, like I told you, he's a brother to me, a brother from another mother. He is an entrepreneur now. I've at least all the time I've known him, and that's been going on 17 years. His name is Jeff Johnson. Jeff Johnson is a serial entrepreneur with a variety of financial and services in his business portfolio. He has over 20 years of experience as an entrepreneur. While in the business school at the University of Louisville, he launched an organization marketing legal services, building a sales team of over 6,000 representatives that now services 30,000 clients. He launched a coffee distribution organization 11 years later in 2013. He has a background as a restaurant franchise owner and event coordination business. He also has a background helping the youth in the community, running youth basketball leagues and coaching basketball, which I can attest to that. I was a part of that as well. He has coached at Atherton High School and as an assistant basketball coach and various middle school AAU programs. He uses basketball as a tool to help young kids understand and play the game of life and to win. Jeff's entire family has a background in real estate and saw that many people are struggling with credit and financial literacy. In 2017, he partnered with a nonprofit to focus on financial literacy and credit restoration that has helped remove 2 million negative items from customers' credit reports. Come on now. With the program, he is able to instruct and help consumers legally have negative items removed from their credit profiles and also build and establish credit to increase buying power. Jeff's goal is to empower 1 million people to become entrepreneurs and to help 10 million people become financially free and homeowners in marginalized communities. Help everyone. I want everyone to put together those hands and give a warm wisdom and wealth welcome to my brother from another mother, Jeff Johnson.
Good stuff. All right. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you great.
All right. And I appreciate you, sir, for everything you've done. And, iron sharpens iron. And, you said some great things about me, but you've always been a blessing to me. Always pushed me to grow as well, you and your entire family. And just want to say I love you. And I appreciate for everything you do, not just for the community, but especially recently for these boys, giving back, pouring into them, and, planting those seeds that, even though you may not see something, sprout up right away, the harvest is coming. So I appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you for everything you've done. And first of all, I want to say, how's everybody doing?
Great.
Good stuff. How's everybody else doing?
Fantastic.
All right, good stuff.
Good. Doing good.
Good.
Blessed.
Adriel, what's going on?
Hey, this is why so everyone couldn't answer because we told everybody the icebreakers keep their feelings
out. Okay, no worries. Good stuff. Well, we'll utilize the chat, and I won't be long. Just want to share a couple things that was shared with me that helped me tremendously. I wish I was educated on early. Now, hopefully, I have good signal. If I get choppy or anything, just kind of reach out. I'm at a school dropping my son off for a leadership camp in Western Kentucky. But I want to share some information. So just like he said, my name is Jeff Johnson, background of a serial entrepreneur. We met, like you said, over almost 20 years ago, working on a project and educating people on legal plans and also financial literacy. And that's carried me to where I am today. Like he kind of mentioned the background that I've had. And right now I'm focused more on credit restoration, but really just utilizing it as a tool to help people accomplish a lot of their goals and dreams. And what I want everyone to do before we do anything, I want you to give yourselves a round of applause. Matter of fact, if you got that hand clap emoji, just put that in the chat since I can't hear everybody clapping. Well, put that hand clap emoji in the chat for taking time out to invest into yourself, invest into your thinking so you can get different different philosophies, which will lead to different beliefs and better beliefs, which will lead to better actions, better results, and of course a better lifestyle. Joyce, yes, congratulations, Joyce. Congratulations to you, Felicia. All right, I see everybody clapping in the chat. Who else we got? Okay, good stuff. Adriel, congratulations to you. All right, awesome. Because everyone doesn't invest in themselves. See, people invest in watching basketball. Which even though they're not gonna be in the NBA, they'll invest into different things. Their favorite reality show, right? They'll invest into a lottery ticket, right? But for you guys to invest into your thinking and to make sure that you're on the track of wisdom, that says something about you, and you're laying the foundation for you and your household. So I'm gonna give you guys a tool that was given to me and has really helped me and helped so many other people. As he mentioned, I partnered with an organization that was able to help remove over 2 million negative items and went through a process of restoration of credit, right? And so I'm going to give you the formula. I call this the $250,000 formula. Okay. All right. And I hope you have you grabbed a pen, grabbed a pad, something to write down information. Take some notes. All right. Take some copious notes this afternoon, because I want you to share this with your entire family. This can change your life. Right. And what I want you to do first is type in the chat the word leverage. Okay. I want you to type in the chat the word leverage. Okay. Leverage. All right. Leverage. So what is leverage? So leverage, right, in the physical sense, it's something that you utilize to get more things done. All right. Get the ability to get more things done. Now, of course, the best leverage we can have is the Most High. Right. He said he gives you the power to get wealth. Well, what is power? Right. Power is energy. Right. Power is the ability to get stuff done. Right. All right. So that's the most incredible leverage you can have. Right. So you want to look at, okay, what are some things that I can do to leverage myself? So like if you're building a house, you don't just go take your bare hands and break down a tree, right? And then just start stacking the wood. No, you go get an axe or a chainsaw, cut down the tree, or even better, you get somebody else to do it for you, right? All right. That's leverage, right? Does that make sense? You don't nail uh, the you want to work smart as well. So you want to work smart and hard. And so one of the things that can help you leverage in the financial sense more than anything is your knowledge of how to use the power of credit. Okay, your knowledge of how to use the power of credit. Now, what is credit? Okay. Credit, the definition of credit, right? Credit is just your ability to pay your bills on time, over time. Okay. All right. It's your ability to pay bills on time, over time. I want you to type that in the chat. On time, over time. All right. On time, over time. Now, growing up, I heard a lot of people say, well, I just pay everything cash. I do everything cash. I just pay everything cash. Well, cash is actually credit, right? It's a line of credit that the United States government has with the bankers, right? So even if you're using cash, that's credit, right? But a lot of folks, what do we use credit for? We use credit, of course, to become homeowners, to purchase a vehicle, to purchase, to get business funding, to get credit cards, things of that nature, right? But it's a form of leverage, okay? So what I want to encourage everyone to do is to understand the power of credit, so you can leverage yourself to get your goals accomplished, whether it's to become a homeowner, to become a real estate investor, to start businesses, to buy assets. That should be the number one thing you should do, is buy assets that create wealth for you, because they're creating cash flow for you. Okay. All right. So when it comes to credit, all right, you want to get your credit as good as possible. Most people think of a score, but really you don't want to think of the score. You want to focus on the rating, because there's several different scores. You have a car score, you have a car insurance score, you have a mortgage score, you have a hireability score for jobs, you have a credit card score. They're all a little bit different. But if you focus on the rating, you should be going in the right direction on all those different things. Okay. The highest rating you can get is what's called an excellent credit rating. All right. Um, the highest rating is an exit. The rating just tells the banks if your profile is set up the correct way. Okay. It's just going to tell the banks, do you have the right profile? That is really what the banks focus on for approvals or denials, is do you have your profile set up properly? Okay. So I'm going to give you a formula to get yourself to the highest rating, which is an excellent. excellent rating is kind of like an A. You know, an A could be a 90, a 91. Don't focus on the number, focus on the grade, all right? So focus on the rating. If you have an excellent rating, you will get the best chances for approvals, and best chances of getting higher interest rates, right? For whatever it is you're looking to do. If you don't have an excellent rating, over your lifetime, you lose about $250,000 to $1 million. You're losing that in higher interest rates, higher fees, getting turned down for jobs, promotions, you name it. Right. So that's why I call this a $250,000 formula, because if you have an excellent rating, right, you can avoid losing that type of money. Right. But also you can buy assets that can make you that type of money. Right. All right. So 250,000 over your lifetime, that means you're bleeding around on average $500 a month. Right now, if you're renting, right, you're giving, at least 500 to 1,000, a lot of folks $2,000 a month, all right, to your landlord, building wealth for them and their family. And their family isn't any more important than yours. They don't love their kids any more, or any less than than you do, right? But it's time right now, right, to put some things in place to get the type of leverage to build generational wealth for yourself and your family, right? People say, I'll go broke for my kids. Well, why don't you get rich for them, right? Why don't you get wealthy for them, right? So let me give you guys this formula. So I'm going to give you some data points. All right. And I'm gonna have you jot these down. You can put them in the chat if you need to. I'll put it in the chat as well. As well. And and then I'm gonna break down how to get to an excellent credit rating so you'll get the best rates. I want you to save this for yourself, your kids, your auntie, all the names, your auntie and them, your cousin and them, Pookie. I don't care who it is, Gerald and them, your husband, whoever. I want everyone in your family to have an excellent credit rating. There's no excuse after you get off this line today for you not to have an excellent rating, right? So the first point in this formula I'm going to give you, all right, it's just the goal itself. It's just to have an excellent rating, okay? It's kind of like in school, they gave us A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And I'm not a builder or anything. I don't know about you guys. If you're not an engineer, I'd never use that formula. But this formula is going to really empower you financially. So first point is to have an excellent rating. And I want you to put in parentheses 750 plus, because if you have an excellent rating, that usually means you've got a 750 plus score on the several dozen scoring models. Okay. Next point. Okay. Jot this down. 0 negatives and 5 plus active credit accounts. Okay. Okay. All right. Next point. Okay. Jot this down. At least one active credit card and at least one active loan. Okay. So at least one active credit card and at least one active loan. All right. Next point, you want to have below 7% utilization on your credit card statement date. Okay. You want to have below 7% utilization on your credit card statement date. Okay. Two more points. Average age, 5 years or more. Average age, 5 years or more. Okay. Last point, no more than 3 credit inquiries. Okay. No more than 3 credit inquiries. Okay. Or inquiries. My aunt pronounces them inquiries. My uncle pronounces them inquiries. Right. However you pronounce it, no more than 3. Right. All right. So good. So I'm gonna recap that. So excellent 750 plus, 0 negatives, 5 plus active credit accounts, credit cards and loans, at least one of each. Below 7% utilization on your credit card statement date. Average age 5 years, and no more than 3 credit inquiries. Okay. So here's what all that means. Okay. So the goal is to have an excellent rating, which is a 750 plus. The two main things to accomplish that are that we need to take off all the bad stuff, and you want to have on enough of the good stuff set up the right way. Okay. So you want to take off the bad, put on the good. All right. So you want to have 0 negative items. So nothing, nothing, no late payments, collections, charge-offs, bankruptcies. What are some other things you guys knows? Not you, but maybe somebody else that you know has on their credit report that's hurting them. Anybody? You type it in the chat. All right. I already said late payments. Anything besides that? That you know? Not you, of course. Not you right there. But like student loans. Okay, Rebecca, you said she said know somebody with student loans. Felicia said repos. Absolutely. All right. High usage. Absolutely. Yep. Idris. Yep. Yeah. Charge offs. anything, you don't want anything on your profile that would discourage a lender from Bank of America or wherever from giving you a loan for $400,000 for that house or for that line of business funding. Evictions, absolutely, absolutely. All it takes is one late payment to drop your score 150 points. Suha said utilities, absolutely, absolutely. All right. So I understand, some people, are just irresponsible and they just didn't pay their bills on time. But then, yeah, folks that maybe gone through a divorce, COVID hit and people got laid off or people got sick. Life happens, right? So I understand life happens, but guess what? You can come back, all right? Obviously, we want to be, we do want to pay our bills on time, all right? Proverbs, the conditions of your flocks, Proverbs 27:23. Give careful attention to your herds, for riches do not endure forever, and a crown is not secure for all generations. When the hay is removed and new growth appears, and the grass from the hills is gathered in, the lambs will provide you with clothing, and the goats with the price of a field. You'll have plenty of goat's milk to feed you and your family and to nourish your female servants. So we know that. We know you want to make sure you know the condition of your flocks. All right. That's your payment history. That's paying your bills on time, overtime. And then also you want to transition into buying assets, right? That's the goat milk. That's the herds, right? That's something that perpetually creates an income or sustainability for you and your family. But it starts with your payment history. You got to be able to pay your bills on time, over time. So right now, if you're working, great, right? You want to make sure it's enough to pay all your bills. Otherwise, right, you might want to start another job. Really, you want to start another business or buy some more assets to create more cash flow to cover all your expenses so you don't get behind and mess up your payment history, okay? That is 35% of your score, right? So that's the biggest part of your score is paying your bills on time, overtime. Next, you want to have 5 or more active good credit accounts. Why? Because banks need to see that you know how to handle credit. They want to see that you can handle more than one account. The magic number that impresses them, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I've talked with numerous lenders. They're going to tell you 5 or more. If you're a business owner, it's really 10. But I know this is new for a lot of folks, so start with 5, okay? They want to see you can handle both types of credit, which are going to be credit cards and loans, at least one of each. Okay, mainly credit cards, because what you can do is just have several different credit cards, not to go into debt with, right? But to play the credit game smart to win, to be able to leverage credit. So what you'll do is you'll have a different card for like a different bill. Like, so on card 1, put your cell phone bill. On card 2, put your groceries. On card 3, your subscriptions, right? However you want to do it. And then never spend anything that you don't have the cash to pay back with your debit card, right? But you're just spending on the credit card just to show you know how to play the game of credit. So banks will be impressed. It'll boost your score and your rating. So you'll be able to get approvals for funding. So then you can put it into some assets. That's your herds. That's your goat's milk. That's all that, right? So you want to make sure you have, 5 or more good credit accounts. That's going to be credit cards and loans. Always at least one of each, because that is called your credit mix. That is 10% of your points. So put in the chat, credit mix, okay? All right, credit mix, all right? If you have at least one credit card and you have at least one loan reporting on your profile right now, I want you to type in the chat, mix it up, because you are mixing it up. You're doing a great job right now. Mix it up, all right? Mix it up. I want you to tell everyone else that may not have it. Mix it up. Make sure you have at least one, all right? Because that's 10% of your points, okay? Now, for the folks that don't, I'm gonna tell you something. Here's what we do, okay? If you don't have 5 or more and your scores aren't the greatest right now, you're going to need to use what are called credit builder loans. There's nothing wrong with that, all right? Credit builder loans, they're kind of like training wheels on a bike. They're just designed to help boost you up, build your credit score and rating up until you're able to get going and get the type of credit accounts you really want. So like the mortgage or, business funding. What we're shooting for is for good credit cards that, they'll give you points for using them, which will give you free stuff like free money, cash back, flights, vacations, hotels, gas, groceries. If you reach out to me at 502-356-8708, I'll give you some accounts you can use. Some of these have some free accounts that pay you to build and maintain your finances. And they pay you to set it up. Okay. But you're going to use credit builder accounts to build yourself up until you get to the point where you're able to get approved for those different types of accounts. Okay. So, there are what are called credit builder loans. So if you don't have a loan reporting, banks want to see you can handle a loan before they give you a loan for $400,000 for the house. So there's what are called credit builder loans. right? They're kind of like a savings account, right? That builds your credit, right? If you reach out to me at 502 and 356 8708, all right? I'll give you some you can use. But that'll help complete the loan portion, okay? Of your credit profile, okay? If you don't have any credit cards or you need more because you don't have 5 accounts, there are what are called secured credit cards. Secured credit cards, a traditional credit card, you don't you'll get approved. They'll approve you for $1,000 or however much they're going to give you. Whatever you spend, pay it back by the due date. Make sure it's paid down by the statement date, and that'll build your score. If you don't have the best of credit, you're going to have to use what are called secure credit cards, where you take your own cash, deposit it on the card. That'll be your limit. You're going to buy something that you're buying anyway, like gas, right? Like I'm about to go get an oil change. So I'll put my oil change on the card, right? All right, because I'm going to get an oil change anyway. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm getting an oil change anyway, but I'm going to pay it back immediately. So on my statement date, it shows I don't owe more than 7%. Okay. All right. So secure cards, you take your own cash, usually 200 to 2,000, deposit it on the card, make a purchase. You know, you have to make a purchase because a lot of cards will close due to inactivity, right? But pay it back just to play the credit game. This affects 30% of your score. It's called your credit card utilization percentage. You want to make sure on the statement date you have a credit card reporting and you've paid it down below 7%. All right. I recommend to keep it simple, keep it below, just pay it down to zero. Okay. That way you don't have to calculate. Just whatever you spend, make sure it's paid down at least a business day or two before the statement date. Okay. That's the second biggest thing that can help or hurt your credit score. So if you don't have a credit card, right, you're missing 30% of your points. So out of a 750, that's 250 points. Okay. So I'll give you, if you reach out, 502 356 8708. I have several banks I have partnerships with that will give you secure cards, and they approve 95% of my clients. Okay. All right. Another reason, credit cards affect everything, all right, on your credit profile. Age. The longer you've had accounts open in a good standing, the better you look to banks. Magic number is 5 years. For a house, most banks want to see at least 1 year. I know a couple banks, they have some programs where they go as low as 6 months, but at least 1 year, but really 5 years. So that's another reason you want to get these credit builder accounts open right now and reporting, because the sooner you do, the more the clock starts ticking. Okay. All right. Credit cards are important because you can have credit cards 10, 20 years and they'll bring up the average of all your other accounts. A car note, you're going to pay that off in 5 years, and then it drops off your credit and you lose the age, right? A personal loan, same thing. But credit cards, if you're just using it, paying bills, and paying them back every month, it'll prop up the rest of your averages of your age. Okay. This is 15% of your points. This is the third biggest thing that impacts your credit. So out of a 750, that's over 100 points right there. Okay. Last, no more than 3 inquiries. If you got more than 3, it makes you look desperate for credit. It tells a story on you that you're desperate. Banks are going to wonder, what are you doing over? Why are you trying to go to all these different banks? All right. Ladies, if you saw a guy in high school, he tried to talk to all the girls, right? You're looking at them like, why are you doing this? What is wrong with you? And all these girls are the same thing we got. We're like, what are you doing? Right? Banks look at you the same way. Right? You want to make sure on your profile you have no more than 3. Okay. Now you have to get some in the beginning because you have to have your 5 accounts. But don't just go applying for random stuff. Right? Like it's like when you're getting a car. Best way to do it is go to the credit union. They will run your credit once. Like I just got my car financed through my credit union, Transcend. Right? All right. They gave me 1 inquiry rather than going to the dealership and getting 30, because those 30 will drop your score because they're going to make you look like you can't get approved anywhere. Okay. That is 10% of your points. So that's another 75 right there. Okay. So that's how you need to have your 5 or more good accounts. Business owners, you want to have 10. So you want to have 10 cards, or, just put a bill or expense on each one. Make sure you have a loan reporting. But if you're not an entrepreneur, you want to have at least 5. Okay. So if you got 3 accounts right now, you need to add 2 more. Right. If you got 1, you need to add 4 more. Okay. Also, another type of account you can use if you're renting right now. Right. Your rent is just draining money out of your pocket, not building anything. It's just building the landlord's legacy. So now there's a way you can make your credit for you, so you can become a homeowner. Because I have a rent reporting program. I have several. right? That can build your credit for you. And so instead of just losing money every month, now we can make your rent build your credit so you can become a homeowner. Okay. So if you reach out again, 502-356-8708. We can give you some info on that as well. So that's for the good accounts. So hopefully that helps. Gary Hobbs just joined. Welcome, Gary. All right. So let me talk about the bad stuff. So here's how we come back. Okay. So if you have negative information on your credit profile, all right, evictions, late payments, child support, repos, all those items can be challenged. All right, to see about being removed from your profile. Okay. There's a law called the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and it just says anything that is inaccurate, obsolete, or unverifiable can be challenged. So you're able to send challenge letters to the creditors and to the bureaus themselves to make sure everything is reporting accurately and in accordance with several dozen guidelines. And most companies don't do that. 95% don't. That's why the credit bureaus are getting sued. Companies are getting sued, right, for that. So we have a program where we help you with that process. We'll challenge the negative items. You can do it yourself. Doesn't matter to me. I just gave you the formula on how to structure your profile anyway. But we do have a program that helps with that. It is a process when you're challenging these items. You never want to do it online, all right, because they try to get you to waive your rights away. But also, so you always want to do it in writing. You want to give the process. I tell my clients you can begin seeing items be removed within 30 to 45 days from sending a challenge to them. All right. But give the process of getting all of them removed, give it at least 6 months. It could take a year, it could take a month, it could take 9 months, it could take 3 months. I've had clients where in 6 months they were in a home, and I've had clients where it took them a month. I've had clients where it took them a year. I've had clients where it took them 4 months. All right. I've had clients that started businesses. Right. Folks that were looking to get the better credit card, so they got in the 700s and they were able to travel quite frequently like they wanted to. All right. So it is a process, though. Of course, like if you're in a fight, right, you want the first hit to be a knockout, right? You're boxing, but that's not always how it goes, right? Sometimes it goes 3 rounds. Sometimes it goes 12 rounds, right? Right. But if you don't fight, the item you're going to be stuck with that profile the way it is. So you have to fight. Okay. So the main two things. We want to fight the bad stuff, right? And also put on enough of the good stuff the right way. All right. So if you need help with either of those, you can reach out to me directly at 502-356-8708.